take a plane to another plane, to another plane, to another plane, bumping Baka not nice while I'm trapping in the rain.
All right, this is episode number 20. This is a monumental episode, so I had to get a monumental guest. And let me tell you something, bro. From the very beginning of me doing this, I told myself episode 20 is going to be Sayzee.
That's hard.
Now,
2020. I like it.
Episode 20 is Sayzee. So
it is.
Welcome, bro, and thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me, sir. This is a blessing for everyone involved. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, man, absolutely.
Choom Gang, rest in peace, Chuck 90s.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. You've always been very supportive of us, and we appreciate it, man. Like, a lot of people from your sort of initial wave of the local scene didn't fuck with us so much, you know. Some did and some didn't, but as far as, you know, ones who are actually like relevant, you always fuck with us and gave us our love, man. So, you know, much respects, and we fuck with you, man. We fuck with you, you know.
No, I know, man. I already know it's mutual love with us, right? So it's like, I thought it was dope to see people coming out of Niagara not doing what was accepted in Niagara.
Yeah,
because I had that same issue. You know what I mean? Like I had a lot of people fall off what I was doing locally when I was garnishing attention in other places.
Of course.
You know? So it was like sometimes you gotta chop the hands off to let the arms live, right? So that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, 100%. And you can't always cater to that local scene, you know. And I always saw that with you, that you would have definitely had to hit that fork in the road at some point where it's like,
for sure,
which way do I go, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, do I keep it quote unquote real?
Right.
Or do I, you know, quote unquote real? Because what is real in the end of the day? Real is whatever you're putting your heart into, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're manifesting is real. So real, quote unquote, right? But you know what I'm talking about, like that. Like you're stepping out of that lane to try new sounds, to try new things. And people are I find it in small cities, when it comes to a local artist, anyone else, no worries. But when it comes to a local artist, people are very like one track minded of what they want.
Like,
and if you're not delivering, man, like, and it's only with locals because they'll accept other creative shit from outside of their city.
Right.
You know, so it's a trip.
But when it's a local, it's like who the fuck does this guy think he is? You know, it's so weird.
I went to school with this guy. This can't be right. Like, why is he trying to do something different, right? Like, why is he doing like 95 BPM?
You know, you got to evolve as an artist, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to occasionally go back and do that shit, you know, like like you still do, like on that on your latest project. There's a lot of fucking just raw boom bap type bars. Like my favorite one on there, I think, is Chili, and it's just
Chili,
like
Chili.
Yeah, and it's
real 90s
like,
vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, okay, this is Sayzee still doing that, like that old shit, you know, like, and I don't want to hear you do that all the time, but it's nice to hear you still do it every now and then, you know.
That whole album actually came about for that exact same reason, with like certain people that were actually like close friends of mine, like that I know personally, were like, yo, bro, like your YFRWN shit, man. Like, yo, you gotta go back to that. Like, yo, like you're spitting, but like, man, you were spitting. And like I had so many people like bugging me, basically saying in a nice way, like, you fell off lyrically. You're still nice, you still make good music, but like you fell off lyrically. So I was like, all right. And then I linked up with the producer Nugs. Shout out my man Nugs, through Dre Bars, who's another artist from Toronto. And I ended up linking up with Nugs, and Nugs had like this whole different wave of shit going on, you know? So I did a few tracks over his beats on YFWN Part 5, which I dropped Halloween last year. And he had a few joints on there. And then that just set the mood, man. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do some straight whole album of like bars, real hip hop beats, just for everyone who's talking crazy like I can't do it no more. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and then it's like the 90s vibe, right? Like the 90s references on top of the 90s
Yeah. It's
nostalgia
like
vibe, right?
that whole album tastes like 1997. That's what I was saying. Like the whole
Yeah,
album.
it's fantastic, you know, as a, just to
Thank you.
like do that as a little thing, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to bring up, like, it's funny that you mentioned that a lot of your, like, that's how it is, right? Like a lot of the people close to you will be like, what the fuck you doing? But like,
Bust your
you
balls
know
the
me,
most.
like every time I would like go out of my way to message you or to like comment on something,
Definitely.
it would be like, yo, like Magnum, or like you know, I'm not cool, some shit like that,
You
because
knew
yo,
the one. You knew the one, right? You knew the ones that you
bro, I
like.
was like, man, and that whole self-titled Sayzee album, like, was so underappreciated, man, because you really did like just go head first. And
You know what? I was going through a bad breakup, bro. I went through
right,
some real like serious shit emotionally over that period of time. And then once I got out of that few months of like just being like not who I didn't feel right, you know, you just feel off and you're like not creative and you're like something happened to me one day and I just woke up and I started recording and I think I'm Not Cool was the first song I did off that whole album.
I love that fucking. I still listen to that, bro.
Yeah, Zelda, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the best use of
Shout out
that
my man
sample.
Midnight. Yeah,
Yeah,
Midnight killed that shit. He killed that shit. So I did
fantastic.
I'm Not Cool. And then I was just I was on a, you know, that mind state where you're just like, fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. I
Yeah,
had just changed
yeah,
my name, just changed the spelling of my name because
yes,
everyone was calling me crazy shit.
of course.
And man, yeah, it's a good album. I love that album. I
Yeah,
love that album.
it's really good. And you know, like the word on the street is always like, oh, he says he freestyled that, but there's no way he freestyled it. I'm like, he freestyled that shit, because
Yeah, so
I could tell just by listening. But the other thing is, the lyrics are there still. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And it's like,
It
I'm
was
sure
dumbed
you're
down. It was dumbed down. It was dumbed down a little bit. You know what I
exactly,
mean?
but
But
you're doing it in sections. You know, you can tell like where you're punching in with like another thought or another, but like you know, you're definitely not writing to the same
no,
caliber
I
as
didn't
you would be
write. I
writing
didn't
now.
write.
Exactly.
No. I still, you know what? That album, since that album, I've written one song since 2017. I've written one song.
Wow.
Other than that, and I was on Adderall. I did Adderall for the first time. I was at the studio with my man Murdoch. He ended up passing away. Rest in peace, Murdoch. But
Oh,
yeah,
rest
I
in
was in the
peace.
studio with rest in peace, Murdoch. I was in the studio with this dude from Hamilton. His name's Julius Wilson, and he's a producer and an artist as well. I think he's signed to who's that Jewish guy, man? That producer, Jewish guy from like way back. You know, he's really good with the piano and
Oh,
shit. Scott
Scott
Storch.
Storch.
Scott Storch. So he's signed. He has like some kind of situation with Scott Storch. Anyway, I was working with him in the studio, and they gave me Adderall. I never did Adderall before, and I was like, "Fuck it." So I did Adderall, and I was feeling fucking crazy. So I wrote
Oh
down that
man.
shit because I was just in the zone, and they wanted like I was just writing, and I hadn't written in like fucking years and years. But other than that song, the song I'm talking about is called Die, DIE. And it
Okay,
was
yeah.
on I dropped like a 2 single
Yeah, I remember that.
thing
Yeah.
with Julius Wilson. So I was on Adderall when I did those songs. But
There's something about those
fucking
focus drugs, man. They do their thing.
yeah, man. Fuck, I was zoned in, right? Snapping. But other than that, I've only freestyled all of my music since then. So YFW 4, 5, Death Wish, the Super Saga album. I
See,
haven't
that's
written
wild.
since 2017. So
See
anything
that?
you've ever heard me do, even the freestyles I do, they're actual freestyles. I don't do it in a succession, but like I'll say like 4 or 5 bars, stop,
Yeah.
think about something, punch in. But the songs, I'll more do like every bar, every other bar I'm punching in. So it's not a constant freestyle. I'm sitting down and thinking about what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
I've taken the action of having to write it down, write out.
Right. And that's what
So
I
it's
try
just
to
from my
explain to
head to the
people,
mic. Yeah.
because people will be like, man, he's not freestyling that. And it's like, yeah, he is. He's just not doing it all the way through. Like, I
Yeah, I'm
basically
not
like,
freestyling the whole verse.
yeah,
That
like
would
you
be
could
phenomenal if I
tell
could do that.
where like a new thought is coming in, or a
Yeah,
new like
yeah, yeah,
flow, or
yeah.
a new
Or a
rhyme
new
scheme, you
flow.
know.
Exactly,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? It's like you just gotta
Hmm.
kind of know writing. But I didn't know that you did that on everything. I was just like,
Yeah,
that's pretty wild, bro. So kudos
yeah.
on that, bro, because you got
Thank
some.
you. Yo, you know what? It sucks in a way because I used to be a really, really, really good writer. I was a really good writer, man. And now when I try to write, it's very like superficial sounding compared to how deep I used to be able to get with the writing.
Right.
So I have to almost retrain myself to learn how to write songs, because it's cool to do what I do, but now I feel like I'm missing the element of what I used to do, which is like very planned.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can take those two, I wish I could see the way I explain it. When I do shit written down and I perform it into the microphone, like to record it, it sounds like I'm reading.
Yes,
When
I
I
hate
when
that
I
when that happens with
freestyle,
me. Yeah.
right? When I freestyle, I'll hit shit differently than I ever would if I was sitting down to think about it. And that's why I
Right.
chose to go with this way of making music, because it lets me experiment and try. Like, it's like having a spray paint can with like one top, where you got like 30 tops in a fucking bag for different lines. You know what I mean? Like that kind of
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like I'd rather have that bag of tricks so I could just pull out some random shit
Hmm.
than just have that one sanctioned, safe fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's just safe. I
Yeah.
like to do shit a little bit more risky, right? Like,
And I think that's a big difference with like like a lot of the new school shit compared to the old school shit is like that's how a lot of these guys are making, like, is it strictly off of the fact that they're hitting those specific sounds on freestyles. Like a lot of these
and
guys
it's
aren't
your
right.
mood too. Like, having a home studio,
It's
for
a
any
vibe.
artist out there who's watching this, like, if you don't have a home studio, but you have like expensive designer shoes and belt, like, you're tripping. Go buy a fucking studio. Because
Thank
as
you.
soon as I got the studio in 2017, and I started recording myself, and I would send it off to get mixed. And
Yeah.
now it's at the point, like Death Wish, I recorded everything, I mixed everything,
Yep.
wrapped everything. Nugs made the beats, and then I made the cover art too, right? So it's just like fully self. I mixed it
That's
myself
the
and we put
fucking
it
way
out.
to do it, bro. That's the goddamn way to do it. I mean, there's
Yeah,
obviously pros and cons to like not getting
yeah.
it mastered by a professional or whatever. But
I'm just sick
man,
of paying people, bro. I'm sick
there's
of paying
that,
people,
right?
man.
And then
Fuck.
you could say that is you. And the thing is, like, man, nowadays with all the different artists there are on the internet and shit like that, there's so
Yeah.
many DIY artists. Like, people don't even fucking register when a song's not mixed well anymore. Like, it's just like sure, if
And
you're
where are they
listening on the
listening
radio.
to it? What are you listening to it on? Probably your iPhone. So like, is it
Exactly.
really not gonna crunch it? Any if it was amazing mix, it's getting crunched anyway, right? Like,
Yeah, so you're
so
obviously going to try to do as good of a job as you possibly
mhm.
can. Like, you're not going to fucking slouch on it, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's like you can on your own, and especially with the equipment that's accessible now, it's not even that expensive to fucking get your own studio together
Bro, my home
and mix
studio
and master your
literally,
shit.
yeah, my home studio cost me maybe like everything together, like $1,300. That's including the Mac. I bought
That's
a Mac
including the
computer.
laptop. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'll
and the
show you.
Mac's a
I'll
big
show you
part
how
of it.
the. How do I flip the motherfucking shit? Okay, hold up. Yeah, like right here. That's all you need. That's it. Anyone can make music. Anyone can
Man,
put
how'd
out
you
an
get
album
those
that can get
KRKs for that
a
cheap,
million
bro?
streams. Yo, I got these KRKs from my guy, Wayne Gang Music Kid. He hooked me up $250 for both.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. He hooked
Fuck's
me up.
sakes,
So
man. That's a
word.
serious deal, bro.
But yeah, that's all. That's all the people at home need, man. This shit cost me like 1,300, 1,400, bro. If
Like,
that. If
man,
it.
I can't. I'm so happy that you're saying all this, because I've been saying this for I've been I can't
Preach.
you can't stress it enough, bro, because it's like, man, you're just making rap. Like, I don't mean to sound like I
It's
love hip
true.
hop with all
It's
my heart,
true.
but you're just making rap music. All you
Yeah,
need is
man.
something to record your
All
vocals,
you need.
and the rest
I
is
make
a
all my shit
computer.
in my bedroom, bro. I make all my shit beside my bed. I
Like,
wake up, the studio's
man,
beside my bed, bro. That's a blessing.
me
Could
too,
never
brother.
did that
It's the
back in the
best,
day. Could have
man.
never did that back in the day.
and
Ever.
then and then the way you can experiment, and like, you're not on anybody else's clock, bro. Like, you're on your
That's
own
a
fucking
big
clock.
one. That's a
And
big one.
and I explained to people, like, I've made so much shit that I'll never put out, that like, if I had paid to do it, I'd
You
have
would
to
have
put it
forced to
out.
put it out because you're like, fuck,
you
I spent
know
$150 on this mix. Like, I gotta
Meanwhile,
drop that shit.
now I look back and I'm like, man, I'm so glad I didn't put that shit out. But it was a stepping stone to like something better that I did later, that I did put out, So it's like, you get to do those
Right.
practice fucking songs when you're on the clock. Like, there's no practice,
Yeah.
bro.
Bro, that whole Sayzee album was an experiment, basically. All those sounds, those are like songs that I never tried to do again. I never tried to do before that. It would just came at that time because I had bought the setup and I was by myself. I had never been by myself recording before. I'd always had 4 or 5 people in the fucking room. So as you're recording,
Man.
you're still subconsciously thinking like someone's listening to me.
Yes.
You know, like they're judging me right now. Like, oh, did I do
Yes.
that shitty? And then you're reading, bro. So I find recording by myself is the lick, bro. Like I love recording by myself.
I could not agree more, man. I have a hard time recording with people in the. I can if like
I
we're
do
working
now.
together
I do
on a
now.
track. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like if we're collaborating on something, I can get in that vibe still and like record with,
That's crazy.
you know, whoever's on the song in the room. But if I got like 4 or 5 people hanging out, like smoking weed, drinking, like whatever it
Because
is,
it's
like
in your
that
back
old
of your
shit,
brain, bro.
you're like, fuck,
You're thinking
man.
about it.
Like, you know, and then you're trying to do ad libs, and you know how much of a goof you sound like you're
Oh,
fucking,
yeah,
you know, you're just like,
Trust me.
man, you can't really do it, you know. But then,
It's,
yeah,
you know
get
what?
the home
It
setup
fucks
and
you
you're
up,
free.
bro. But it's a blessing, man. It's the best thing that ever happened to me was put a studio in my crib, man.
Yeah, and
I was
tell
lazy. I wish I
everybody
did
to
it way before. I wish I did it so much sooner. I waited so long, like deep into my career before I started like doing for myself. So that's my like one piece of advice for any artist that's like, you know, a couple years deep. Spend that money,
Yeah,
get you a fucking home set up, become self-sufficient. Don't wait on nobody, and your
yeah.
career is gonna progress way better, man.
Absolutely. And
You know?
like we always did it. And I don't say that to be like we did it before
No,
it
I
was cool or
remember.
whatever.
Yeah, no, I know you guys did. I know
Yeah,
you guys
because
did.
our shit, we went through a lot of years of our shit sounding like trash because A, we were broke, and B, you couldn't afford good shit even if you weren't broke back then, you know?
Right,
But now
right.
the shit is so accessible
So
and so
accessible,
affordable.
bro. Go to
Like
Lon
there's no
McQuaid and spend a
excuse.
band, bro, and you're good,
You
man. Like
know, there's
anyone could be
no
a
excuse.
fucking crazy.
You know, and then if you
Crazy.
really aren't confident with mixing and mastering yourself, that's fair enough. Then pay somebody for that. But you don't need
Yeah,
to
you
pay
send your
nobody
stems,
for
bro.
studio
Yeah,
time.
send those stems, man, and sit there and work on your fucking song for 14 hours and make it perfect, and then send that away and pay the $100 for the
Yeah,
mix or whatever you got to pay
literally
for the
send it
mix.
to one of us, and one of us will
Yeah,
do it for you.
yeah, one of us will mix for you. Yeah, our emails are right on the bottom there.
Yeah,
Just call that 1-800 number.
you know,
Good.
check our numbers. All right, well, check his numbers, and then you can check my numbers if you want. But
Yeah, we're
you know,
good.
yeah, we do
Don't
shit.
worry.
We're
Take
out
care of
here,
you.
man. But
Tripping balls, bro. Tripping balls.
but yeah, no, it's great to hear that. And I always encourage people. And then look what happens. You know, a pandemic happens, and anybody that doesn't have a home studio is fucked. And I've
Fam, I
mentioned this
made
on the show a
fucking.
bunch of times, but I'll mention it
I
again.
probably made. Yeah, it's real. I probably made like fucking 36 songs since that COVID shit.
Yeah, bro.
Probably even more, because I did a few freestyles, but probably even more. But I made like a whole album with Sprock. I'm like 9 joints deep on an album with Tool Man, and then I have a
Wow,
whole
that'll
album.
be a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hood classic, bro.
Me and Tool Man are dropping a fucking classic, bro, straight up. And then
Man.
I got an album with the producer Finn from Brampton.
Okay,
He
I'm
does like a
not
lot of like
familiar.
he works a lot with Danielson.
Okay. Oh, that'll be
Yeah,
hype.
yeah. Danielson's popping too. Shout out Danielson.
Yeah, man. The scene is fucking lit up there. That's for goddamn
Yeah,
sure, man.
there's some spitters, bro. There's some guys I really respect. You heard of Raz Fresco?
Yes, he's been around for a minute. I saw him
He's a
live
yeah.
way
He
back.
was around young. He
Yeah,
was
I
a
saw.
young boy. Like when I met him, he
Yeah,
was young, man.
I don't remember who we opened for. I might have seen him more than once opening for people, like in
He's been
Hamilton
opening for people for years,
and
bro.
even
For
down
years.
here. You know, I've definitely seen him live on more than one occasion. Probably when he was young as fuck. So what's he doing now?
He just dropped part 4 of his Magneto wasn't wrong or something. I forget the fuck. I'm butchering that shit,
That's
but
hard.
he has
That's hard.
he has a Magneto mixtape, bro. My word. And he's on the 4th installment and he produces everything, engineers everything, does all the videos, does all the art. Like Raz Fresco, and he's younger, man. Like he ain't young, but he's like in his mid-20s maybe.
Okay.
And on top of that, he's like a 5%er. And he has like he dedicates like his whole Instagram. He don't even really post his music like that. He like dedicates it to like talking to young black men and like putting something in people's minds. So like Raz Fresco is someone I really respect in the scene.
Wow, that's amazing. Well,
For real.
I really, really hope that in the wake of all this, there's a socially conscious wave in
Seems
the
to
hip hop
be.
community. It's there so
Seems to
far.
be.
So far, it seems to be. That's
See
for
how long it
goddamn
lasts,
sure.
right? Like that's what you got to worry about. Like, will it last when this shit like gets quote
Yeah.
unquote back to normal?
Yeah,
If it ever does, I don't know, man. The tension is crazy right now with the racial tension
it's
and
pretty wild, man. It's hard to imagine. Can you even project through to this election in November? Like how
I
much
think
time there is
Trump,
between now and then? Like so much shit is still gonna happen.
so much shit's gonna happen, but I think Trump's gonna win
I
because
think so too.
I don't think anybody's voting for Joe Biden.
I don't
And
think
Trump
so.
is like Trump. People hate Trump and shit, but like the media really goes in on Trump and like twists his words and shit. And he's like a hypocrite and he's a bigot. He seems to be anyway. I don't know if he's a racist. I don't really believe that narrative.
I
But
agree. But he
but
certainly caters to them.
he's a dude. Yeah, he's a douchebag, man. He's like, you know,
He's a fucking
he's a
slime
billionaire,
ball.
man. He's a
Yeah.
fucking billionaire. He's a slime
Yeah.
ball, whatever, right? But every president's a fucking slime ball. So I just respect that at least he's fucking out in the open with it.
Yes.
He's not smiling in everyone's face and doing devious shit. He's just straight telling them how it is. You don't give a fuck, man. It's scary.
It is
It's
scary
to
because
have a guy like that in
he
power. You
just
don't
does
give a
not
fuck,
give
man.
a fuck. He does
You
not
don't
give
give
a
a
fuck.
fuck.
Yeah,
You don't
he
care
really
about
doesn't.
shit, bro. Trump don't give a fuck about nothing.
And the less he cares, the more the people that are really behind him love him, you know.
Love him. Yeah, and that he knows that. He knows that he's catering to the average American with a fucking 90% IQ. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
he's catering to like middle America, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
bro. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He ain't stupid. He wouldn't be a billionaire if he was stupid.
And then whoever's around him that is dictating this internet strategy with, like, you know, again, I don't know where like the reality ends and the conspiracy begins. Same with any of the
Oh, let's
conspiracy
get on
theory, right?
conspiracy. Let's get on conspiracies.
Yeah, like I'm so fucked up over it now because like so much conspiracy is so pro Trump, you know, like right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
basically the
The
last
whole
few years,
QAnon shit.
you know, but it's like there's so much truth to so much of that shit. But then why is it all a big thing to get, like, it almost seems like that okay, they already got, like you said, the 90 IQ type people, right? Now they
Yeah,
need to rope in some like moderately intelligent people who might do some reading but might not check their sources and shit, you know what I mean? So it's like
so
that's
they
like,
just spam them with headlines, bro. And like people
you
read the
know,
headlines and they don't read into the story, and then that's their fucking narrative.
yeah. Yeah,
I don't know. It's crazy.
it's
I'm
fucking
not
my
into
brain up.
politics, man. It scares me, bro. I don't like that shit. Those people are in charge of everything, and they're fucking deceitful. So I don't trust any of them.
Yeah, they're all fucked up. But you know,
Yeah,
and then
facts.
you know, Joe Biden, like, come on, man.
Bro, he's the most rapey fucking old man I have ever witnessed in my life. If you just type in Joe Biden creepy, fam, there's like 40 occasions of him like rubbing kids' shoulders in front of trying to kiss kids in the lips.
Oh, and if
Shit.
that was Trump, it would be a
Weird. Oh,
24-hour
buddy, it would
news
be
cycle.
over. It would be
Yeah,
over. Look at Trump's pedophilia. No one even saying peep about fucking Joe Biden, bro.
yeah.
That guy's
Oh
a
man.
creeper, man. He's a fucking creep, bro.
Oh fuck, man. And that's the thing with the whole, you know, the Q and because the Q initially was about exposing the whole pedogate thing, and
Yeah.
now it's just about Trump as a superhero. But it's like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
they
happened, man?
steered that narrative quick, man. But like
And
all
now
the
it's like, so
pedophile
was it
shit,
always bullshit, you know? But then it's like,
I think all the
it
pedophile shit
wasn't.
is like is real still.
So
I
do
think it's
I,
real.
you know?
I
But
think
I
these
think,
I think there's a lot of people like in power that are fucking kids, bro, honestly. And I think it has something to do with like some kind of magic or like some kind of weird fucking occult
yes,
shit. 100%. Like, and I know that sounds retarded, or I can't even say that. I know that sounds
not on
stupid.
this show. On Ezza
Yeah,
Trips
sorry.
Balls on Ezza Trips Balls, it's perfectly, not that you
Everything's
can't say,
good. Yeah.
yeah, that you could say whatever, man.
All right, yeah, yo, honestly, it's creepy. If you look into all the satanic pedophilia, pedogate, pizzagate, it sounds stupid, but if you really start looking into shit, it's creepy and disgusting, fam. And
Yes,
pedophilia and child trafficking is a real deal thing. It's not like it's a made up boogeyman. This shit really exists.
yes. And
So
here we
if
have a possible explanation for it, and everybody's like, nah, that's just a crazy conspiracy theory. It's like,
everything's a conspiracy theory until it's real,
you know,
until it's in your face.
and then when Epstein got arrested, it was like, all right, here we fucking go. Like, here we go. It's all coming. It's all
Turn the
coming out,
fucking
man.
yep. Turn the fucking airlines on. Let's get it in,
And
right?
then
I was ready,
boom,
bro. And then
suicide. Come on,
yeah,
son, suicide.
suicide.
Get out of
Suicide. And
here.
that's a Clinton, that's a Hillary Clinton special too, bro.
Oh
Suicide? Oh
yeah.
my god. She's responsible for so much death. It's crazy. And I don't give a fuck. Like you could say it's conspiracy. That bitch is evil, bro.
Oh
Evil.
man, that's the thing.
Evil.
Is like
They were talking about how her fucking FB or her CIA, like the guys who like basically guard her body, like guard her at all times in her house, like at night when she's sleeping, they're walking the hallways, you know what I mean? Making sure no one's assassinating her. Bro, the one guy supposedly like quit his post because he couldn't handle what she was doing. And like they didn't go into details, but like what is it that you couldn't handle? Like she was screaming down the hallways at night and like some trippy, crazy, fucking weirdo occult shit, bro. And like people quit her fucking detail and shit. Like, and then her emails, bro. All those emails about hot dogs and hamburgers with Obama and John Podesta and Frank Podesta, bro. Those emails are so incriminating. And she's actually going to court now and just lost her appeal. So
well,
she
there
has
you
to go
go.
to court and testify for those emails, man. She's
Well,
done.
there's gonna be some more suicides. There's gonna be
You
some
want to
more
know the day?
suicides.
Yo, bro, the same day that this bitch went to court was that first day of the Black Lives Matter protest. And
Wow.
that's all the media was covering, bro.
Is this for real? Are you for real right now?
100%. I
God
already
damn.
looked into it. Because I wouldn't even say it if it wasn't real. Like that one's a true one. She went to court. She appealed to not have to testify for all those emails that they found when she was whatever her cabinet place was, and she wasn't supposed to have a private email. And she was running a child trafficking ring supposedly on these emails. WikiLeaks already dropped the emails. So the emails have been out for 3 years
Yeah.
now.
Oh, you can go read them, right?
You can
And
go read them.
then you
Talking
know,
about 12 and 11-year-olds in hot tubs, talking about getting $60,000 worth of hot dogs and hamburgers for this party. And they're
all
talking about
sorts of like that's definitely something.
genitalia, bro. They're talking about genitalia, hot dogs and hamburgers, fam. They're talking about children's genitalia on these emails.
Man.
Yeah, bro. And like people will say, "Oh, yeah, you're nuts." And then they called it Pizzagate. The whole reason it's called Pizzagate was to make it sound fucking foolish, so people would think it was a conspiracy, bro. Because the word Pizzagate, it just sounds dumb, like Watergate with fucking, you know what I mean, like
And I think
Pizzagate.
that's why they turned it into a big pro-Trump thing as well, also to make it look foolish and to make it look ridiculous. Because now you can just say, "Oh, if you believe that shit, you must be a Trump
You're
supporter."
dumb.
Because Trump
Yeah,
supporters
you're
are the
fucking
ones that
right.
are saying all this shit for the most part, like these crazy 4chan Trump QAnon people, right, are the ones coming out with all this pedogate stuff. But it's like that doesn't make it any less true. It's like the layers of fucking cover up that are being done, like, but it's like all in plain sight, bro. It's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
there have to be in order for like, okay, this is what I read, or like not even read. I probably seen it in a video on YouTube or some shit. But the guy was saying about spells and casting demonic bullshit and all this stuff is like you have to use symbology because people have to willingly, subconsciously know what you're doing without you outright saying it. So that's
Yeah,
why they give you breadcrumbs because the magic won't work unless you know what the fuck is going on to an extent.
right.
That's
And
what
it
this guy was
also,
saying.
I've also heard it also takes the blame off of them in a way, because
Of course.
they're admitting that they're doing it without, of course, actually admitting that they're
They're
doing it,
saying
right?
it out loud without saying it
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like there's too many things that it can't all just be a big coincidence, right? Like there's just too many
No.
things, and there are actually a bunch of children unaccounted for in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's not
Tons.
like all these fucking
Tons.
theories are happening and there's no missing kids anywhere. There's
Bro,
fucking
and
missing kids.
fucking you remember that movie Hostel?
Yes.
Way back in the day?
Unfortunately, yes. I fucking went
Yeah,
to see
like
that at a
brutal
theater.
movie about, yeah, me too. About torture and shit, right?
Yeah, the first
Fam,
45 minutes
that's
was titties, and the second 45 minutes was torture.
titties and torture, TNT, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
TNT.
But
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, the whole thought of like rich people paying to like abuse and murder somebody to get the
yeah,
ultimate high because you're rich and like you've already done you fucked every
exactly.
hooker that you've done everything sexual that you've ever wanted to do. What's next?
Yeah,
And if you're
yeah.
an evil person
The
already,
thrills.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility, man, that rich people would want to murder and kill children and drink their blood or wherever else they say they're doing. Then
Yeah,
there's the
and
whole adrenochrome thing, which
yes,
is trippy.
which is really fucking trippy, and
You know?
you know, which for those who don't know is essentially, you know, drinking the blood of a terrified child, uh,
Yeah,
infused with adrenaline.
right.
You know,
And
which
that's
is like
supposed to
the
probably
most
keep them.
evil thing anyone
It's the
can ever
number
think
one
of, right?
bottom evil thing. It's the most satanic shit you can possibly do, bro.
Yeah.
By far. By
And
far.
you know, just to ground this in, for those who may be thinking like this is all right, let's just say I'm pretty sure that there are actually NYPD officers who access some of this information and are no longer with us that committed
Yeah.
suicide. Like you know what I mean? Like this stuff
Oh yeah.
this stuff is not just information that you can only find on 4chan or whatever. Like there are actual fucking things connected to this.
They just busted a police officer from Toronto, Ontario, who was involved with the trafficking of a
Yes.
16-year-old girl. Okay, so this is a cop. This is the people that you're supposed to trust to get you out of trouble and to keep you safe. You pay your tax dollars for these people, and they're abducting your fucking daughter.
You know.
That's why when people say defund the police, agreed. Defund the police.
Yes, and
Defund.
not only that, but you know, specific to, you know, where we are, which is near the border, as if, you know, our crooked ass police force is not involved in some sort of trafficking over the border, you know, which is
I
constantly
remember
happening.
constantly. I remember in 2007, Niagara Falls had the most corrupt police force in Ontario.
You
There was
know,
an
and
article about it.
I'm sure not much has changed, you know.
The
So
cop just shot the other cop like a few years ago. Remember
yeah,
the cop popped the other
yeah.
cop?
And
Come on, bro.
where'd that story
Cops are
go?
fucking shooting each other here, man. Like
Oh man, it's bananas. And then, you know, so
crazy.
obviously something is going on, right?
Hmm.
So, you know, here people try to connect the dots and put the pieces together, and it automatically gets politicized to a right or left. And it's like, no, like
Right
this is
away.
not a right or left thing. Like both sides are involved in this. It's all just fucking rich sickos, man, at the
Yep.
top who just have nothing, like just like the thrills that they fucking find. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have been arrested on this shit. You know, there's all sorts of. It's not just fucking Harvey Weinstein and like the famous names that you hear, and Jeffrey
Well, there's
Epstein and
so much
whatnot.
shit going on. So many people dying. Isaac Cappy, they fucking murdered him. He was talking out about Hollywood pedophilia,
Yeah, I
talking about
talked about Isaac
Seth
Cappy
Green and shit
before on
like
this.
that.
Yeah,
Word. And then fucking Tom Hanks posted a picture on Route 66 where Isaac Cappy decided to kill himself, supposedly.
yeah,
And right in the bottom corner of this Instagram post, it's still on Tom Hanks's Instagram till this day.
yeah,
There's a small cap, like a Gatorade lid, and it
with a
says P
P.
on the lid, written on the fucking lid, my guy. So when you start adding all the symbolism up, definitely something going on.
Yeah,
People
and
don't just
then
randomly kill themselves all the time, man. Like,
yeah,
I
it's,
don't.
you know, and then you know, you bring it up and you're the crazy person, right? And it's like, dude,
Mhm.
what is so crazy about thinking that every single person that tries to expose this shit ends up like, I'm sure.
Dies.
And
They
it's
end
like,
up
well, they're
dead,
all
bro.
just fucking schizophrenic. It's like, man,
Come
come
on.
on.
Come
There
on.
are actual
There's a certain time when coincidence becomes like way too much to just ignore and say it's coincidence. Oh, well, like there's always going to be that guy like, oh, well, the cap could have just been there in the P. And well, then isn't the universe weird? How did the universe predict that this guy was going to die here and left a cap with a fucking P on it on Tom
yeah,
Hanks's fucking demonic ass Instagram page? He just has like a loose sock and like one shoe
the
and like a
weirdest
fucking
Instagram
glove.
ever. Yeah.
Weirdest. Bro, and then there's that picture of him and Oprah with Oprah's lesbian fucking fake best friend. And on the fucking clock, there's hamburgers and hot dogs. And he's
God
holding up
damn.
he's holding up a piece of paper and it said, I will not talk on the piece of paper
I
and he's
think
covering his mouth.
he's got a black eye or something too, I think.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah.
this is a real picture that you can find on the fucking internet that's not doctored. It's an actual picture. Why are these people doing that?
It's fucked up. And you know, the Epstein thing becoming famous was the most obvious thing. That's like, dude, there's fucking mad rich and famous and connected and powerful people flying to and from this goddamn island.
Ellen,
Because,
Obama, fucking tons of people on the plane, bro.
like,
Actors that I like
what's the
fucking this shit is
excuse? Why is this not all over television? Why are we talking about fucking, you know what I mean? I mean, right now there's obviously more important things to talk about, but over
yeah,
the
yeah,
last few
yeah.
years, it's been like,
It gets
all
swept under
sorts
the
of,
rug, bro.
yeah, it's like, come
Because it's
on, man.
called a conspiracy, because it's labeled a conspiracy. So anyone talking about it sounds like they're beat, bro.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
they
And
call
then
it a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like,
there are things that we know for sure. We know for sure that Jeffrey Epstein died in that jail and all the cameras
yeah,
magically stopped working and all.
yeah.
You know,
Come on, man.
we know for sure.
Even a man, shout out Deke. Even a guy like Deke would have to look at those circumstances and be like,
Yeah.
how do you even deny that one?
Listen, he was the man was caught years before and was and then the district attorney was told, hey, this guy needs like a light deal, like this goes above us kind of thing, and this motherfucker
Yeah.
gets house arrest and just keeps on raping kids while he's on house arrest for decades in a beautiful Palm Beach mansion, like that's not a
Oh
that's
yeah.
not that's not a conspiracy. This guy gets to keep his island after he fucking you know is already confirmed to have done this
Because it's
shit, and then
money,
for
man. It's
years
money. That's
later
all
he's
it's
just
about.
able to continue doing it and influence and just connected to the right people, and just something was obviously going on, and it's like we know that for sure. And then here's another thing we know for sure. you know ABC, the news network, was shown to have been covering up the Epstein story since back then, purposely hiding the Jeffrey Epstein story. ABC is owned by Disney, the kid empire.
Disney
Why
owns
would a
everything, bro.
news station owned by Disney try to cover up and hide exposing a story about somebody who's freaking harming kids,
If
and to
if
the
you look
point that it's
into
allowed to keep going for years?
yeah, if you look into Disney, so Walt Disney was like best friends with Warner von Braun. Okay,
The
Warner von
NASA,
Braun
the NASA
was a
Nazi.
fucking Nazi. He was a fucking Nazi scientist, a murderer who worked alongside Adolf fucking Hitler, okay, and came to America, got cleaned of all of his fucking shit to come and work for America and put us on the moon because they had the rocket technology. So America washed them, absolved them of all their criminal international crimes, and let them come work in America, change their name, whatever,
Yeah,
right? So Walt Disney and Warner von Braun are like this. These guys are the ones who basically ushered in the whole obsession with kids in space and astronauts and planets and the moon and all
yeah,
of that shit. You know what I mean? And that's, you got to look at the indoctrination there. This is the same guy sending the rockets to the space. And now you're making everything about space. Like space. Think about when we were kids. Everything was about aliens, space. Even now, like, they just always talk about that shit.
yeah.
Space.
So do you think space is
Why?
fake? Are
No,
you a
I don't.
flat earther?
Yo, no, I'm not a flat earther, but I think NASA is fake. I think a lot of the footage they show is fake. And there's proof. If you just go on fucking YouTube and just Google like NASA anomalies, there's like parts where this dude's talking about like we can't penetrate the Van Allen radiation belt, which is like the radiation belt around the Earth. He's like, we can't go further than that.
Right.
So how did you go to the moon in 1960 whatever?
Yeah.
And now and the shit that was landing on the moon, it was like looked like fucking curtain rods,
Looked
like with
ridiculous.
shower curtains, bro. It looked ridiculous. That's just not going through fucking radiation. And then
Yeah.
when asked about it, the man clearly states in this fucking documentary, bro, he's like, "Well, we lost that technology, unfortunately."
You lost
This
it,
is what
eh?
he said. They lost the technology, unfortunately. Bitch, you're NASA. You guys have $1 billion budget, bro. Billions of dollars you guys use every year. You haven't figured out how to get that technology back in 50 years with all the advancements that happened. Come on, bro. It's a
Yeah,
finesse. It's a finesse, bro. But you know what those guys are doing with that NASA money? This is what I think. You see what CERN is? You know what CERN is, right? The hydrogen collider.
yeah, Switzerland.
So
Yeah,
yeah, bro, it's all through, like, I think it's in 3 European countries. It travels underneath 3 European countries. And fucking bro, those guys are like opening doors to like dimensions and like splitting the
Yeah.
atom and God particle. If you look into what they're doing, and then in their fucking grassy fucking lawn in front of CERN, don't they have a huge statue of Shiva, the god of destruction? Are you fucking dumb? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, with symbolism,
Yeah.
it's not hard to see what's going on.
Yeah,
Not
and
hard,
then
bro.
the Vatican's connected to every part of it pretty much, you know. And what was that a big coincidence that all these priests fucking get caught molesting
Raping
kids and then
kids
fucking raping
nonstop, and they
kids
just
and
relocate them to do more rape.
yeah, the Roman Catholic Church has a hand in fucking
Everything.
everything.
They own 80,
Everything.
like they own like 80 something percent of the world's gold, the Vatican. Okay.
Yeah. And they're not
Think of that.
deniers of science either. They own
No,
fucking
now they do. Now they even say aliens exist now.
they own
They say,
telescopes. I'm pretty sure they are. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're in some way, shape, or form involved with the CERN shit. And
yeah, they have
then
one, bro. They have one of their strongest telescopes ever made. Guess what the telescope is called?
I remember it being something fucky, but I don't remember what it is.
Lucifer.
There you go. So it's like, come on, man. They
Talk
shove it
done.
in your face, right?
Talk done. You guys are looking at the stars, Lucifer. Think about that. Who do you really worship, fam? When you go to church, are you really worshiping Jesus Christ? When you look on the wall and your savior is being stabbed in the fucking
Yeah.
rib with a spear and nailed to a fucking cross, and
Think
killed
about it.
off and treated like a dog, who are you
Yeah.
really going to church for?
Yeah.
I don't believe in church after I figured out life, fam. Like, the way I'm looking at it, I will never be a part of any religious bullshit. I'm out of that. I'm off of that. I'm about spiritualism and karma, bro. That's it. Miss
Yeah.
me with all that other shit, bro.
Yeah. Well, and then, you know, they're also involved in every fucking, big mafia,
Every
every
crime, yeah,
gang,
every crime
every
possible
crime
in
syndicate.
Italy.
Yep.
Think about every mob family. What are they, bro? Catholic.
Yep. Every
Think
single
about
one.
it, bro.
Italian and
All
Irish.
of them. Yeah,
Yep.
all of them.
And then
It's a
fucking
gang, bro. It's a gang, and you don't pay taxes either. It's a gang, bro.
yeah, and then
It's a
America
gang.
is totally just a Christian Catholic. Everything is all, it's all fucking, and then oh man, it's fucked.
Because
It's
if you
fucked.
look at the
It's the
Catholic
Roman
and the Christian
Empire.
holidays, yeah, bro, the Catholic and the Christian holidays are all based on pagan holidays.
Yes, which is
Christmas,
one of my
Easter.
favorite fucking topics to talk about because
Come on, bro. So
it's
it's like
great.
you guys already emulated your religion, bent it to the will of that you wanted it to control,
Yep.
and then pushed it upon the there was a time in like the 16th century when the churches were collecting, people were prepaying for their sins, fam. Like, I know you're gonna fuck up next week. Pay us now. Prepay for your sins. Come on, we need your money. Prepay for your sins, bro. From
There
there,
you
you know it's
go.
a finesse. It's a finesse. All those guys are gonna burn in figurative hell. Those guys are all gonna burn in it for using God to get money, bro.
For
Real
sure.
shit.
I think
Fact.
the Roman Empire never really fell. It just became the Roman Catholic Church, and
Yeah, exactly.
everything that they're involved in
And they got
is
their dick. They
still an
got their dick in
empire.
everything. They got their
Yeah.
dick in everything, fam. They got their
And they
dick in
got
everything. Believe
all
that.
the art locked up. They got everything
They got
locked
all
up
the
and they robbed
scrolls, the
all the
fucking
scrolls, all
knowledge,
the
all the
information,
knowledge,
all the ancient knowledge they robbed from other countries.
the
It's
real
all
story,
locked
the
up.
real story of the world. You know what I mean?
Yep. All
Probably
the
bear shit
priceless
they stole
shit.
from Iraq,
We're just
Africa.
not allowed to see it. We're just not allowed to see it.
No,
Not allowed to even
because
know
we're
about it.
simple.
No.
We're commoners, bro. We
No.
don't deserve that
It just
knowledge.
needs to be locked up. That's
That's
it.
what these elite groups are about. Is
No
about
explanation.
this knowledge, fam. This knowledge is what knowledge is power. That whole saying, it's real
Yes.
because that's what these elite groups are based off certain knowledges that were kept away from the average person.
Yes.
Like
That's
Freemasonry and all
why
that
all the
bullshit.
rituals, man. That's why all the rituals. It's magic,
Right,
man.
because it's
Magic is
Canaanite.
real. That's the
Yeah, it's
motherfucking
Canaanite
secret.
Babylonian shit. Exactly.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
yeah, and that's why we all have to participate in these rituals so that we're complicit in the continuing of this thing going on, that we all fucking suffer this system, this suffering,
I want everyone who is like listening to this being like, these guys are fucking fried. I want
They
everyone
will.
right now to search two things on YouTube. Two things. First thing, I want you to look at the opening ceremony for CERN, the performance art piece, quote unquote, that they did. Secondly, I want you to watch the opening for the Switzerland railroad station, Trans Am thing, It's the most Babylonian satanic shit I have ever. They have a guy dressed up like a goat running around with his shirt off, screaming at the top of his lungs. Okay, bro, it's the most crazy shit I have ever seen. And then tell me to my face that you don't think there's something going on. Because then after that, I just can't really, like, I got no other words for you. You know what I mean? Because you're in denial, unfortunately. You're in a situation where thinking that the reality you believe to be true might not be true fucks your mind so much that your mind just goes into safe mode, like your phone would go in, fam, airplane mode. Like you almost can't comprehend shit being not what they say it is.
Yeah.
And that's the whole mind. That's the mind fuck. That's why so many people are scared to like wake up and pay attention to shit, because it's uncomfortable. And it is, bro. Since I've been paying attention to shit, my life has become a lot more uncomfortable because everything I see, I'm looking for the real root of it.
Yeah.
I'm looking through it rather than just taking it in.
Yeah. I compare
Media,
it to like
movies,
it's like you squint your eyes a little and you see it completely differently.
like
And
those
now
3D
you see
images.
everything.
Remember those posters?
Yeah.
And you had to like squint your eye
Yeah.
and you'd see like a fucking bike or like
And
a
once you
fucking.
see it, you can't unsee it. And
You
it's
can't
like,
unsee it, bro.
yeah, you gotta like train yourself to be like, fuck, I gotta stop for like I gotta give it a rest, otherwise I'm gonna go fucking crazy. I won't be able to function.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's like honestly,
Definitely.
it's every award show, every Super Bowl halftime show,
It's
every
crazy.
almost every music video with a high budget. Every, you know what I mean? It's like it is everywhere. And then it's in every, like you say, every holiday
Even
release.
fashion, bro. Even fashion and music and fucking in everything, man. Like
Yeah,
people wearing fucking pentagrams on their shirt.
we're doing
You know, I've
spells,
seen
bro.
so
We're
many
all doing
people wearing
spells.
fucking, yeah, and that's why they call it spelling, bro. Take it in. When you take a word and you form a word with these letters, it's called spelling. What are you doing with those words,
Yeah.
fam? You're casting a spell with those words. That's why witchcraft,
I
like, it
love
all
that you're
makes
on
sense.
all this shit, bro. You're hitting
Yeah,
some of my
bro.
favorites. Like
Yeah.
the English language is all spells to make us
Oh,
negative
it's
and make us
crazy.
feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like when you say good
Explain that. I
morning,
want to hear more about that. I want to hear
good
more about that.
morning, for example, mourning is also mourning, right? It's a
Right.
negative thing. You're mourning the loss of somebody, right? But you know, you say morning every morning. There's a few things like that, man. I had a few examples I used to bang off to people that were great, but now I can only think of the morning one. There's quite a few things in the English language where when you think of like the synonym, it's
Yeah. It's a
putting a
negative
negative
context.
thing in your head when you're supposed to be saying something positive. Um, fuck, I can't remember some of the other good ones. I think, oh
That's
yeah,
that other shit.
one of them is hello, has the word hell in it. So it's like we're
Yeah, we greet each other with the word hell. That's crazy. I never even thought of that.
yeah, and there's so many things that are in our language that aren't in any other language, that people who are learning English as their second language are like, this what the fuck is going on with this
This
language?
is
Language is
weird.
fucked.
Something's
And
weird.
it's like, yeah, it's part of Western civilization because we're like the most hypnotized fucking, you know,
Makes
arguing
sense if you look at it
people.
like that.
You know what I mean? So, and what's the primary language? English. And then what's the primary language that's now taken over the entire world? No matter where you go in the world, you can find somebody who speaks English now. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
for sure. 100%.
universal. Yeah, that
100%.
is the selected language of this fucking Roman Empire that took over America and, you know, colonized Africa. It fucking took over Europe and then stopped communism everywhere because communism was anti-religion and
Yeah.
uh
Thinking for yourself and helping your brother out. Communism, like when I always used to hear
sharing.
about communism, yeah, like when I used to hear about communism, I'd be like, damn, like it sounds way better than capitalism. Like what the fuck?
Yep.
Especially if you're down and you come from nothing and like you live with your mom and she's broke and you're just getting by and like barely eating anything with fucking nutrition in it. Like that's how I grew up. And man, I used to hear about communism and I was like, damn, everyone gets the same shit.
It's
Like
like that
damn, like
sounds perfect.
everyone gets like great,
Like
like everyone gets dental, everyone gets medical. Like that's in my head, right? I'm like, oh shit, that's sick. Like, why are
yeah.
we fucking capitalists where it's just like one guy's eating enough food for 1 million people and then 2 million people are starving?
Yeah.
But then once I saw Russia crumble and shit, like I got older and I paid attention. I was like, damn, maybe it's not a good thing. And like, look at Cuba. Cuba is in a bad place too.
Yeah, well,
for a
listen,
lot of years.
neither extreme is good, obviously, right? Because
You need a balance, yo.
yeah, the problem with communism is that everyone has to do it for it to work. Because that's the problem with Cuba, is that they make everybody stay there because it's like, now we've paid for your education, we've made you become a doctor. Now you're not going
Yeah.
to go somewhere
You're
else and
not
make a
finna
bunch of
fucking
money.
leave and go
You're not
make,
going to
yeah,
go to
make fucking a
America,
bunch
right?
of bread. But
So
that's why it's
that's the
so much
problem.
organized crime too in like Russia, so much organized crime because like the communists, like, no, so certain people want more, bro. They don't want to share and just
Yeah.
get a slice of bread. They want the loaf, right?
Yeah, the problem with
Capitalist mind state.
communism is the same problem with capitalism, is that in capitalism, rich people get greedy and get corrupt, and in communism, the government gets greedy and gets corrupt. So
Right,
it's like,
right.
but in my mind, at least the government is giving something back, whereas the rich people in capitalism don't have to give you fuck all.
They
Like,
don't
they
give a fuck.
basically
They don't
let you
care.
starve, and it's like, if you can't figure out how to make this work for yourself,
Yeah.
fuck you. And that's
Yep.
all there
You
is
better
to
have
it.
a fucking business sense or you're
Yeah,
fucking
or you
goodbye.
better learn how to fucking stitch your own wounds and deliver your own baby and all this other shit that people can't afford to do in the States, and it's like, nobody's saying communism is perfect, but it's like, clearly capitalism is not going very well right
Capitalism's not
now.
good either, man.
It went
Fucking
well
straight.
for a while, but
And socialism's fucked too. So it's like there's no, like, which is the lesser evil? That's what it's about. It's just like voting, right? Like,
yeah.
which is the lesser evil? They're all bad.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I think we are very lucky in Canada to be a pretty kind of in the middle place. Like, I
What do you
think
think of Justin? What do you think of Justin Trudeau?
I like him, honestly. I know it's not cool to like him and shit, but I do.
Mm.
I don't. I fully am aware that he is a bit of a goof. You know what I mean? And that he's not he doesn't come across very intelligent all the time. And
Yeah, he has a vagina for sure.
yeah, and he's
A
definitely
little
like
bit.
he's definitely like a little a
And
little
like
bit of a bitch.
when he went to India, and dressed
Yeah,
up in
he's
the
very
Indian,
cringe. He's very
he's
cringe a lot of the time.
fucking,
That
yeah.
being
But
said,
like,
let me tell you something. I don't know, you've
yeah,
traveled out of the country a little bit. When I
yeah, yeah,
traveled to Europe in 2017, which is 2 years after we elected him, or a year and change, whatever it was, every country I went to, when I said I was from Canada, they were like, "Oh, fuck yeah, Trudeau!" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
mm,
he's very good for our reception around the world, despite the cringe shit that people laugh at. He
yeah,
is
yeah,
very good for our reception around the world. Not only that, but in times like this, right? I'd rather have somebody who comes out and says, there's racism in this fucking country too. It's not just happening. I think all the stuff
yeah,
that he's saying is great,
yeah.
So I
He's got
like
an
what
okay
he's
message.
stand.
I'm not against his message
Yeah, I love
at
his
all.
message, and I think that that's the most you can even expect from these motherfuckers, is to have a
Yeah,
good
because
message.
they're all
I
fucked.
like him for
But
the
yo, what I
same
was
reason
gonna
I liked
say,
Obama. Just good
what I
messages.
was, yeah, he's all right. What I was gonna say, what I was gonna say is, have you ever looked at pictures of Fidel Castro in his younger years
Yes,
and
I
Justin
love it.
Trudeau?
Kinda
Now.
scary.
Have you seen the pictures of Justin Trudeau's mother with Fidel Castro on many
Yes.
occasions? On many occasions,
Yes.
not just one. Many occasions,
Yes.
she was over there with them. Now, do you think it's far fetched to just spout the idea that Justin Trudeau could be Fidel Castro's bastard son?
I love the idea, and I think it's great. Um, I think that the side-by-side
Yeah.
photos are pretty startling
Fucking pretty startling, right?
when you
Like
look at
alarming.
them,
Not even like, oh, they look alike. Like, it's pretty alarming.
because you
And then the
first,
pictures
like,
of his mom with Castro
that takes
is
it up to
kind
the
of the
next level.
cement that holds the brick in, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And like, people
so
who
I
are
don't
listening,
know.
like, they're going, Fidel Castro, if they've never heard this before, and that's the first reaction, is like, Fidel Castro, like, that
Yeah,
old
like, what
Cuban
the
guy looked
fuck?
like Justin Trudeau. And then just Google young Fidel Castro, and you go, oh fuck.
Yeah, and then
That's
Google their
Justin.
side by side.
And then
Yeah, and it's
and
pretty
then
much him with a mustache
yeah,
mostly.
and then be like, and
Like,
then Justin Trudeau's mom with Fidel Castro, and you see
mm,
fucking her husband standing there, and she's fucking like looking
bro,
at Fidel
she
and
was
shit.
probably taking some Cuban pipe
Hey, listen,
and
she was
got
hot, man.
she got babied up. And Justin Trudeau's mom was on some shit too. I don't know exactly the whole story behind
Oh
that, but
yeah,
I've seen some shit where his mom was like some kind of
she like
dealing with
made
certain
a
people and
she like made a celebrity status out of being the prime minister's wife and like hung out with people and shit like that. Like not something that normal prime ministers' wives do, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
Trudeau's mom was getting busy, bro.
no, that's one of my favorites as well, as far as yeah, Canadian conspiracy theories. The fact that,
Yeah,
but then it's
Canadian
like the whole
conspiracy.
idea is that he's gonna usher in communism, and he hasn't done that yet. He's been prime minister for a
No, he's
while, so
too wimpy to do anything like
he
that,
is too
man.
wimpy. That's the motherfucking problem. Is like I'm a progressive fucking guy. Like
Yeah,
and he always folds to the like
always.
he doesn't want to go all the way progressive. Like he wants to like make the conservatives happy too. He's always folding and apologizing and shit like that.
He's so safe. Did you see that one like
That's the problem. He's
picture?
safe. You're 100.
So
That's the
safe,
word. That's
so
the
safe,
word. Yeah.
so safe. Like his, I feel like his PR person has like his fucking headset in his ear at all times. Like no,
Constantly.
abort, abort.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like fucking
Always. Yeah.
what was I gonna say, man? I had something to say, but it's cool. It wasn't that important.
Something about Trudeau's mom
Yeah.
getting banged by Fidel Castro.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Trudeau, Castro, whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
Liberal life, whatever.
Yeah, but that's that's where the whole thing gets muddy, man. Because yeah, I can't wrap my mind around the left, right of the conspiracy world right now. Because there's like all the real shit seems like, for example, NASA being started by Nazis is pretty good
Yeah.
indication that there is a white nationalist conspiracy among all the other fucking very solid
Yes.
proof that there's a white
Yes.
nationalist whole system,
Yes.
right? But then
Yes.
you still have white nationalists being the conspiracy theorists against this pedogate shit, which is also probably real, but because it's like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Obama and shit, they're the ones who are like, oh, these people are you know what I mean? It's like, it's so confusing. It's like I throw my hands up in the air sometimes. I need to be with the conspiracies selective, like I am with the mainstream issues, where it's like some things I'm a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
some things I'm a little bit left, you know what I mean? On the
Yeah. Yeah.
pedogate thing, I'm a little bit right, I'm a little bit pro Trump on the pedogate thing.
Yeah, it
um
seems to be working out that way, man.
yeah,
Everyone getting busted, like, and more pedophile sex traffickers been busted under his watch. So, like,
yeah,
why,
but at
if
the
you were a
same time,
pedophile, why would you? Then Anonymous put that shit out and said he raped some 16-year-old girl with
and
Jeffrey
I think,
Epstein or
yeah,
something.
and I think that's very possible. I think it's very possible that Trump was involved in the whole thing, and
Could have been.
like everything Trump does, he just puts it out there in a way to sort of to have it be the self-defense. Like he's always kind of said weird shit, like said shit about his daughter, and like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said some weird shit about his daughter. I saw that. I don't know what
yeah,
that's
you know what
about,
I mean.
man.
And then this whole sort of movement that's a pro-Trump movement that's exposing the pedophilia is almost like him pointing the finger when he probably, I mean, he's a New York fucking billionaire. Epstein was a New York billionaire. They're all,
Yeah, I'm
you know what I
sure
mean?
they
As if they
fucking all
didn't fucking
smooshed
hang
together.
out, man. Bill Gates is probably there too, that fucking shady bastard.
I hate, yeah, Bill Gates a fucking. Oh, speaking of Bill Gates, I got a song called Bill Gates dropping June 30th.
Boom,
Tap
June
in,
30th.
pre-save that on Spotify, all that good shit. June 30th, Bill Gates.
Get that
Yes,
pre-save, Bill Gates. Are you talking
get that
conspiracy
pre-save.
on the? Are you making conspiracy references on the Bill Gates song?
I did a couple, yes.
Okay, yeah,
There's a
you don't
few.
gotta spoil
I
anything,
didn't
but
go full. Yeah, I didn't go full fucking psychopath, but I
that's good.
dropped a
That's good. Yeah,
couple
no, you
bars in
can't,
there.
man. You can't. You can't.
No,
Um,
if I feel like right now though, like I have these songs called "What a World," and it was like a video that really took off for me when I was younger, and I did a part two on Y4WN3 maybe, and I feel like now I got to make a part three because it's like shit is really fucking going crazy, bro.
Yeah,
What a
and
world.
yeah, and if we can reel it to there, like if my segue, I guess, would be, the same people who were, and this is where it's kind of starting to lose me, and it's sad, but the same people who were trying to expose all this pedogate shit are now trying to say that the George Floyd thing was a hoax and that it's all bullshit and that this, and it's like, man, I can't get with that shit, man. And it just makes
I'm
me
not with
question
calling
everything
nobody's
else, right?
death a hoax, man. I'm not with that.
It's unbelievable, right? And it's like, these are the same people. So now, less obviously, since we've talked a lot of this crazy QAnon, 4chan, right-wing conspiracy stuff, let's
Yeah.
fucking very clearly clarify that on this issue, that ain't the side we on, man. That
Yeah,
George
I
Floyd
can't.
was murdered
Yeah, I can't.
by 4
This guy
cops,
was a
and
rapper. This guy was like a rapper and shit. Like he's not an operative. You know what I mean? Like he has a history of being
no,
a human being,
and that cop has a history of treating human
being a
beings like
fucking
shit.
like
Yeah.
shit. Yeah,
So
yeah,
come on, the shit is real, and the whole movement is
yeah.
real, and you know what I mean. There's definitely,
People are really saying that George Floyd's death is fake.
I've seen people saying that Derek Chauvin is like an operative of like the cop who killed him.
Yeah, I seen
That
them
he
put
was
the.
sent to do that kind of thing. Not necessarily that George Floyd was an operative of some sort, but that the
But he
cop.
was supposed to set off this riot and this protest,
Yes, that's
and
kind
they
of
had it all planned basically.
to distract
And
from
would that be
everything
to
that's going
throw
on.
off Hillary fucking Clinton's email scandal?
Exactly, and that's why I
She
wanted
has
to.
money like that. She has enough money to like pay for something like that.
But the thing is, cops have been doing this to black people for years, right?
Yeah,
So it's like,
it's not a one occasion. It's not
it's
a
not a
one-off
one-off,
situation.
right? But it's like,
Yeah.
it's a hard one because it's the same as the school shooting stuff. It's like real school shootings happen, but some of those might have been a little bit fishy timing
Man,
wise.
more than 3 occasions so far with the school shootings, they've used the same crisis actor.
Right.
So
So is it possible
people
that
can check into that themselves.
they changed and this is not me talking, this is the conspiracy world talking, that
Yeah.
they changed strategies from school shooting to cop kills black guy because they know that that's also something that really happens that they could take advantage of and
It's a
cause an
good way
uproar.
to
I don't agree with that
usher
because
in martial law. It's
yeah,
a good way to
and
usher
the
in martial law,
timing
man.
with right after COVID, which also seems to be a little bit of a fucking bullshit thing, right?
Okay, so in my here, according to me, Sayzee, not according to fucking Ezza Trips Balls, I
Thank
think
you.
COVID was a huge finesse, bro. I think COVID was a fucking finesse from the jump. It wasn't nothing to really go crazy over. And basically it was a fucking finesse. And basically they wanted to fucking break people down, man. Literally, and learn how to live off the government.
About to take a plane to another plane, to another plane, to another plane, bumping Baka not nice while I'm trapping in the rain.